I'm going in today because this topic is really, really important. And I'm really going to be breaking down how to feel and be unstoppable, how to transform yourself into someone who's unstoppable. And someone who is unstoppable, one of the ways to refer to them is a killer. You've heard me mention this idea of the killer instinct, right? It's actually a system that I created. But the term killer instinct is not new. It's like, yo, he's a killer on the field. He's a killer on the court. He goes for the jugular. Someone who's supremely confident, someone who accomplishes results, someone who's dominant in situations as opposed to what most people are. And you might fit in that category of most people right now. Someone who feels sort of a lack of confidence consistently. Maybe you feel weak and soft, anxious, overthinking, tentative towards what you need to do to accomplish your goals, procrastinating, wondering if you're doing the right thing, asking far too many questions as opposed to taking action, moving forward, creating the very circumstances that you desire and that you dream about. But most people are so impatient. Most people want it right away, but guess what? They also procrastinate on what needs to be done. And most people are patient in the wrong ways. They're waiting too long. They're thinking too small. Life is too short. You and I have to be killers out here. We have to be kings and queens of our relative jungles. We have to be at the top of the food chain. We can't be running from people. We have to be attacking. We have to be leading. That is what must be done. So the question is, how do we do that? And what I've done, and this is a huge part of the I'm Not You philosophy, and I want to give you guys an inside look into that. It's typically something that I go in much more depth in Killer Instinct, but this is what we do. In the first phase of Killer Instinct, I'm introducing people to what the I'm Not You philosophy is. And I want to share with you a core part of that philosophy. And it's simple. It's 5 rules. We're going to call them jungle rules, all right? These are the 5 rules that those who dominate at the highest level, those who are killers, this is how they do it because they follow these 5 rules. Now, I didn't make these up. I made them up in a sense of I've attached my own language to it, but I've basically studied all the best in the world. I've studied myself when I've accomplished, and I've also studied myself when I've struggled, when I have not been a killer. And I also have studied and identified what is it that makes me a killer at this point in my life? Why is it that I feel unstoppable? Unstoppable doesn't mean you don't have flaws, or it doesn't mean you're reaching all your goals or everything is going great. Unstoppable means you will not be stopped. It's a confidence. It's a certain aura about yourself that says, yo, this is who I am. This is what I want. It's done. So what I've identified is these 5 rules. And these are the 5 rules that if you want to be a lion in the jungle, if you want to be in the zoo, that's fine. You don't have to follow these rules. You can go follow other people's rules. The other people who are setting the terms of that zoo. But you and I assume that you're here because you want to accomplish on your own. You want to have a certain degree of control, a certain degree of independence about yourself that says, this is what I want. I'm going to create it. Yeah, it might not be easy. Yeah, it might seem like I can't do it right now, but this is what I want. So these are the 5 rules. So what I want to do is lay out the 5 rules. And a matter of fact, I want to honor this feeling. B. Croc, I want you to go ahead and throw on that Killer instrumental by Nipsey Hussle. And I want to do something different. I want to basically I want to give you these rules over a gangsta-ass beat because I want you to feel it, all right? I don't want this to be lecture type. However, I do want you to get out your pen and paper. I want you to write these down, and I'm going to show you at the end how you can get a printout of this, a poster that you can put up on your wall and learn these and make them sink into your subconscious so that you actually can live them, all right? So let's go, B-Croc. Go ahead and drop that. So these are the jungle rules. These are the 5 rules that you must follow if you want to be a true lion in the jungle. Someone who's a killer, someone who's supremely confident, someone who accomplishes under pressure. And the first rule is this: you must set aggressive outcomes without limits. I'm not just talking about goals, I'm talking about outcomes. I'm talking about challenges. I'm talking about new standards. Determine what you want without limits. So you're not following this rule if you don't know what you want in every area of your life, if you don't have a complete vision of every portion of your life. Every day should be spent gaining more clarity, clarifying more what you want, eliminating what you don't want. Every day you use pain to alert you of what you don't want, and then very quickly set a new goal, a new target. Every day you have targets, outcomes you're going after. Every quarter, every month, every year, you're moving. You know what you want, you're focused, you're determined. But you must do that without limits. If you are someone who is not goal-oriented, you're not living that. And no wonder you're not a killer. You must be goal-driven, you must be goal-oriented, and you must not set limits. That's rule number 1. Now, rule number 2. A lot of people set goals and shit and like to talk about them all day, like to fantasize and dream. We can't just be dreamers. We must also be realists. We must be practical to the core. So rule number 2 is you must boldly face reality consistently. Boldly face reality. And you know why? Because reality can hurt. Because when you set those aggressive outcomes without limits, guess what you're going to find? You don't have nearly as much as what you need right now in order to accomplish your goal. And I don't mean tangible resources. I mean internal. You're too soft. You're not creative enough. You don't have enough courage. You must face reality. See what's true. Stay rooted in reality. Stay connected to the web, as Robert Greene would say. Stay connected to reality as a spider on its web. And you must do that often, every day, looking at how the day went. Where did you win? Where did you lose? Where did you fail? What did you learn? Boldly face reality. But guess what? That's not enough. Because there's a lot of people who like to analyze all day, right? They like to talk about shit all day. But they don't do rule number 3. They don't live by this 3rd rule, which is go through the fire. This is what they mean when they say take action, move, do it. This is what Nike means when they say just do it. Take action, actually work your plan. So you spend all that time mapping it out. You set the aggressive outcomes without limits. You face the reality. You created some sort of plan. Move on that shit. Take action. Work at building your habits. Actually try to. Don't just read a book on how to build habits. Create a habit and try it. Try a meal plan. Try a workout routine. Go through the fire. And not just kind of try. I mean really try it. Like go all in. This is important. If you don't do this, you lost. If you don't do this, you're not a player. You're on the sideline. You must be able to discipline yourself to consistently go through the fire. But we can't just go through the fire. We can't be those people who just work out all day and ignore shit. We have to be able to systematically, strategically, intelligently, and ruthlessly self-evaluate. RSE, ruthless self-evaluation. You must be able to learn why it went wrong. You have to be addicted to learning. You have to be able to see yourself clearly. You have to be able to understand exactly what's leading to your results or not results, lack of results. Maybe you won. Well, why did you win? Create formulas. Maybe you lost. Why did you lose? Identify key principles, areas where you need to change. And you must be ruthless in your attack. You must be ruthless, because if you don't attack yourself, life is surely going to attack you for you. Don't make the shit harder than it has to be. You go to the truth before others can find it for you, and be ruthless. Now, once you do this, a lot of people go through this process, and let's say they want to go there, or they accomplish the goal, and they're feeling real good about themselves, and they decide to go on a vacation or take a break or pop some bottles and celebrate. This is what the average does, because they missed this last step, which is re-up. That means you must set a new standard now. If you're doing what you always have done, you're going to continue to get what you've always gotten. Common sense. Albert Einstein said, if you want to get to a new level of results, you have to take on a new level of thinking. The level of thinking that has gotten you here will not get you to where you want to go. So you must always be moving forward. So that means re-up. If you lost, then dust your shoulders off and get back up and keep trying. Try some new shit. If you won, give yourself a pat on the back. Get a fucking ice cream cone, whatever you do to celebrate, and then get right back on your grind the very next day and set a new goal that's higher, that's more aggressive, that's gonna push you, that's gonna force you to the brink of failure, that's gonna force you to fail. So that way you can go through this entire process over again. Set the aggressive outcome without limits. Boldly face reality. See exactly where you're at, what you lack. Go through the fire, take that action. Then ruthlessly self-evaluate, learn from what happened, and then of course re-up. Always re-up. Never settle. Always grow. I don't care what it is. Finances, get more. Get more. You'll be able to give more. Endurance, get more in shape. What are you gonna stop once you get in shape? Keep pushing yourself. Make yourself bulletproof, unstoppable. See how far you can go. Oh, your relationship's awesome? See if it can get more awesome. See if you can be more happy, more fulfilled. Be greedy with this thing called life, because you know why? That's what's required. That's the number one law of the jungle anyway. Grow, pretty much grow. Grow or die. So be greedy with gains. So how well do you live by these jungle rules? Number 1, setting aggressive outcomes without limits. Number 2, boldly facing reality. Number 3, going through the fire. Number 4, ruthlessly self-evaluating. And number 5, re-up. Because once you re-up over and over and over, you will make gains. And even if you don't all the way win, that's the funny thing about it. Even if you don't win or accomplish exactly what your goal was, you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna start to develop a tangible confidence that you can't buy anywhere. You are gonna feel crazy unstoppable because you're gonna see the correlation between the efforts, the awareness, and the results. You're gonna see the relationship, and you're gonna be able to manipulate those things in order to consistently accomplish results. And guess what? That little win creates more momentum. Now it's more wins, and now you keep going and keep going. All right? So listen, I don't want you to just understand these on a basic level. I want you to really internalize these. So go back and listen to this again. Write this shit out. Not only that, I want you to go to imnotyou.com/jungle rules, and I got a free downloadable poster for you. I want you to print it out, put it somewhere so you can see it every day and challenge yourself. And I want you to live by these rules. All right? imnotyou.com/jungle rules. In the meantime, keep going after it. Keep training yourself. Keep transforming yourself into being more of a killer, more of a beast, more unstoppable. Get greedy with those gains. All right?